How's it going, guys? May 24th, 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. So, I wanted to do a little vlog on planning and what I do to properly plan well and my logic behind planning and some tools and tips that I use that I just kind of picked up along the way. I'll give you guys some insider information here. Just checking the battery life on my computer. So we're still good. So, planning. I'll tell you, I just had a perfect incidence of this. As I was, we were trying to coordinate some plans for tomorrow, and then we have to go down to Orlando and trying to make the most of our time and do it as effectively and efficiently as we possibly can, like with any plans that you have in your life. So, when it comes to planning, I like to backwards plan, and I am a huge fan of problem solving. Typically, when people come to me and they start talking to me about things immediately rather than listening. I'll admit to this, rather guilty of not listening all that well and start to immediately think of solutions, solution-based things. Because when people come to me for mentoring or advice, I think of solutions immediately, and that's just the way my brain works. But when it comes to planning, sometimes I like to take the end goal, the end result, and this could be a simple thing. So I'll give you a perfect example of tomorrow. This is just a real life, real world example that I was just talking to my wife about tomorrow. So, I'm just so it can best illustrate the best picture for you. But I like to backwards plan, and that's just what works effectively with me. If I can figure out the end goal, that's important. Figuring out the end goal, and then working your way backwards to get to that end goal. I'll give you a small, perfect example of tomorrow in my day to day. So the end goal is two different things. I have to make it to work on time is one, and that would be around 4:30. Somewhere in between there would be fantastic. And if earlier, better. The other thing is we have to make it to an appointment in Orlando at 11 o'clock. So I'll break down these two into. I'll just focus on one of these. So getting to Orlando at 11 o'clock in the morning. So my wife gave me two options. We can either drive all the way there, face unpredictable traffic, and possibly end up being late, which we can't. They don't take late appointments, so to speak. They only have a grace period of like 15 minutes or something. So we face the unpredictability of traffic. Or we can leave a little bit earlier and catch this train that brings us right to the location of where we need to go for another appointment for the babies. Since she's pregnant, I did do a vlog about her being pregnant with twins. And if you didn't pick up on that one, surprise. But that was the end goal. So those were my two options. So I backwards plan. End goal would be to be at the location at 11 o'clock for our appointment. I would say a little bit earlier, about 15 minutes, whenever you do tend to go to new locations for appointments or you haven't quite been to, let's say for an interview, you tend to want to show up a little bit early. I've been told that 5 minutes early is late. 10 minutes early is on time. And if you're earlier than that, then you're still on time. I don't know what point it becomes early. But, so I start with the end goal of having to be there at 11 o'clock. And then she told me I had to be at this train station. It's roughly an hour away by 8 o'clock. And then it takes some time to get to where we need to go. Amidst all that, she needs to eat breakfast. So, trying to work in a couple different factors. So, have to be at the train station by 8 o'clock. So, we have the appointment at 11 o'clock. Train station, back that up to 8 o'clock. And then we back that up to the travel time. And then I would always say, for every hour of travel, give yourself 10 minutes of leisure time. So, we'd have to probably leave like an hour and 15 minutes earlier. So then we have to, let's say we have to leave by 6:45. And you have to back that up about an hour and a half is the average time my wife takes to get ready, get our daughter ready, for all of us to get ready as a family. It's about an hour and a half, believe it or not. And there's several things to do in there, like, feed the dogs, eat breakfast, get ready, take showers, do certain other little things around the house before we leave. If you have a family and you've ever tried to go out the door, unless you're already ready, it really doesn't happen all that quickly. So backwards plan from there. So we last left off at the train station 8 o'clock. Backwards plan about an hour and 15 travel time. That puts us at around 6:45, 7 o'clock, and then you need an hour and a half to get up and get ready. And we're looking about 5:30 is the wake up time. In order to make that mission successful. So with that, with backwards planning and it working, that kind of strategy working for me, it always has worked very well, and I'm a big fan of it because you can see the end goal. You can backwards plan to see the steps you need to take to get to that end goal. And once you manage the steps into small, more manageable steps, it seems easy to me, rather than trying to take on this snowball-like effect where you're just going to wing it off the beginning. And that does work for some people, but how long does that effectively work? And how much more often than not are you showing up late to things? Are you showing up unprepared to things? I think if you backwards plan, you tend to think about other things as well that you may not have thought about, like travel time, like predictability of traffic, like weather, or other things that go into it. All these variations of backwards planning, I just think it switches your brain into think more about things rather than, okay, I'll just wake up at 6 o'clock and that should give me plenty of time to get there by 8. That's 2 hours, that should be fine. Yeah. Actually, you need the other half hour to make sure that you get things done at home that you need to get done prior to leaving, because the dogs, obviously have to be let out prior to us leaving anywhere so they can have empty bladders and empty bowels prior to us leaving, so they're not caught in a situation where they're leaving messes inside of the house for us whenever we return. So all that stuff kind of plays a role in it, and I think backwards planning is the most effective planning for me, and I encourage other people to try it out as well, is work with the end state and then work backwards from there, and then you can build it into manageable pieces to where you can accomplish little things along the way that will, one, make you feel accomplished, and two, head towards that end state of the goal that you're trying to get to. And I know that getting to an appointment on time in a different location, about an hour, hour and a half, possibly 2 hours away from where you're at, seems like a simple task. And it is very simple, but if you break it down into these steps, and I just have a brain that kind of works that way after being in the military for some time, I like to think about the unpredictability, the things that you don't necessarily count on to happen, because that is where a lot of mistakes happen. And if you happen to make it to your appointment half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour early, then you got some time to waste, and you can do whatever you want with that free time because you've earned it. And yeah, you probably could have been sleeping, probably could have been doing other things at home, but you are not home. So take advantage of the time that you do have while you're out, and maybe go out sightseeing for that half an hour, 45 minutes. I promise you'll be happy in the end. And that's going to be my spiel on planning. I hope you guys took out some valuable information from there. Again, to sum it up, I like to backwards plan, start with the end goal, and work backwards from there. For the example of an appointment, it was timelines and time hacks to meet in order to make that goal successful. But you can do this with anything, with wanting to get a degree by a certain time. How many classes do you need to take on average in a semester? Do you want to take classes during the summer? Just are you going with the flow? Are you going to average 2 to 3 classes a semester, or take 5? Believe it or not, that's the new average, is 5 classes a semester. They don't tend to take classes during the summer unless they want to graduate early. So there's a lot of backwards planning, but you do start with that end goal of picking the degree you want to pursue in the end. And yeah, you can change your major along the ways, and if you're not finding the passion that you first initially signed up for, then do change your major. But most things start with an end goal, and you tend to work backwards from there and build up on it. So I just find that most effective for me is backwards planning, and it's something that is, I think it's commonly taught. I'm not 100% sure on it. I kind of picked it up along the way after being in the military and just having it work for me, and just being a problem solver after people start to talk to me about their issues or where they need to be. I constantly look for, what is your end goal? What is your end state? Where do you want to be? What will make you happy? in different end states, and let's work backwards from there. If you want to be successful in your career, what would make you and your idea be successful? If it's a monetary figure to hit, if it's a certain amount of clients to have, let's work with that end state and plan backwards from there. And you can build upon that. And then once you meet that expectations, you can set new ones. And that's how planning works for me. So again, I'll leave you guys with that. Appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Still around 65 subscribers, trying to get to 75 before the end of the month. Please try and share these videos with people that you may think can benefit from them. And seeing I'm doing my fair share of advertisement and kind of paying into that advertisement to get my videos out there. But I do believe that in order to have the most effect, I need to at least what do you call it, contribute to my own success and contribute to the success of others by I put my own money into advertisement for these videos. I have not been sponsored. I have not been given grants or anything of that nature to do these videos, and that's just full disclosure for you guys. The money that I do put into these videos, if you happen to see them sometimes come across as advertisement-like videos, it's because I set that up. And I put my own money into that, and you'll see that in unfortunately in the quality of these videos. They're not the best quality. I've taken tips along the way, but I haven't even had the chance to go into a Best Buy to buy an HD camera to hook up to this computer, as I was told that that might make things a little bit better. But I just started with what I have, and I continued with that over the time and course in order to follow my dreams of mentoring people on a global platform. And that's sums it up in a nutshell. So again, appreciate you guys watching each one of these videos. Share it with people if you think it will benefit them, and comment, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things to help keep this channel growing and help keep it getting bigger. I've kind of hit somewhat of a what do you call it, of a pinnacle point here, and I'm sure it's one of many I'll hit along the way. But like I've said before in previous vlogs, one of the most valuable information that I got was to just keep uploading. It was one of the things told to Casey Neistat as he was coming up with his successful vlog channel, which is now been super successful, was to just keep uploading. Whether he was having good days, bad days, and that's actually what got him to his status and today, was he just kept uploading. So I'm using that same mentality, and sometimes it's difficult to come up with new material, but I just use what is presented to me in the environment around me and some of my experiences in the past to kind of wrap those up into information that I can put out that will help people get through certain issues. And I try to title them as such so you can easily navigate to the videos that you think might help you the best for that particular incident or occurrence in your life. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. Please share these videos, and that way we can create a fan base to meet all the people who I might be able to benefit. So again, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.